Okay guys, I'm going to be showing you how to make a very basic horror game. The files to this map will be somewhere in the whoop. First time using this. We'll start off by going ahead and starting off with an item granter. Some of this you'll be able to do in 1.0, some of it you won't be able to. But I'll show you like an alternative for 1.0 as well. So let's go ahead and call this item granter flashlight. If you want this to trigger from a specific thing, you go ahead and put grant item and link that to a trigger, or link it to whatever you want it to grant from. You also want it to be on keep all, and then on item list you're going to go ahead and add the flashlight. With 1.0 you have to go into inventory and drop it into the granter. We're going to grant this on spawn, on game start. See, that's enabled. If you don't want to have it straight away, you turn that setting off. I'm going to go find a house prefab, just for the sake of example. Use the blue house. Normally, horror games are quite dark. To change the darkness in Creative 1.0 and maybe in 2.0 as well, you can use a day and night. Oh, it's not even called that. Let me type in sequence. So, okay, you can use the day sequence device. This is one way of setting everything up. You can customize that how you like. Another way that you can do it is by going into island settings. In light, you can type in light or brightness, whatever. So in 1.0 you just go find world ambience. Then you can change the brightness to whatever you think is fitting. I'd say keep light color the same. And as well as that, you can also change fog. Fog I'd normally put onto black. Just for the sake of this, we'll put black on, let's say 50. For brightness, we will put 70. I think that should be fine. Obviously, a very important part about horror games is the audio. So, we will need an audio device, an audio player. In Creative 1.0, for the sake of music, you'll have to use a radio device. Otherwise, looping it will be a lot different for you in 1.0. Because this is 2.0, I'll show you how to use a sound cue instead. I didn't know about this for a long time, so when you have a sound that you want and you've imported it, you'll go ahead into the sound. Let me just import a sound. Say I want this sound to be the ambient audio for the music in the background. I'd right click on this and press create cue. Now inside of here, I can do a couple of things. I can duplicate it, have a couple of different versions. I can have a mixer to put them all together if I had different ones. There's a modulator to change the pitch so that each one will play a bit differently. You can make some scary sounds or cool sounding sounds, as well as you can make it play a random one. This way you don't need to use a million different audio devices. For the moment, I'll just keep that on this one, car ambience, and put it onto looping so that it plays forever. Okay. Most horrors inside of Fortnite use the first person device. So if you want to use this, you can go ahead and add that from the devices page. Enable during game phase, you want that on always. Remove on elimination off. Add to start, you want that on as well. Interacting distance close is fine. Something that you might want to change is field of view. Starts off on 80. You can experiment. I think that lower is most of the time better. But if it's like a fast-paced horror, you could turn it up. Another thing inside of horrors, you often move really slowly. To change the movement speed, mutator zones are used. So inside a mutator zone, there is a section called movement multiplier. Turning this up or down will change how fast you move. Usually they're on something like 50. You move at like half the speed. Depends how big your map is. You don't want to move too slowly. It's a good way to get playtime. It's one aspect of it. But you also don't want to be sprinting around inside of the horror all the time. It would ruin immersion. Okay, so now we're going to start to do a jump scare. Create a jump scare. We're going to do this with a cinematic device. Let's call it cinematic device jump scare. For the mutator zone, you'd want that to be covering your like entire map, basically. On this ambience, play it everywhere. Could be heard. You would register everyone on spawn if you wanted this on all the time. It depends how you want to use this. If I'm putting it on registered player, it could be held by everyone. Then I'm going to go ahead and need to register player on spawn. This will just be playing all the time now. On player spawns. Cool. I also moved this spawner into the house. So making the jump scare. In 2.0 you can use the cinematic device, but if you was limited to just only 1.0, you can either just make things appear by using a prop mover. Just make it appear and disappear, and you'd use an audio device as well. Or another way you can do a jump scare in 1.0 would be by using a camera fixed device. So, I think it was fixed point. You'd set this up so that it will trigger, or you'd add to all, or add to just the person that triggered it if you want. When you say walk over a trigger device or into a mutator zone, and you'd want add players on start on off. You'd also need to go ahead and make the priority one higher than the first person camera device, otherwise it won't show up. And then once your jump scare's finished, you need to attach a timer. The timer would also be linked to that trigger, and then you remove the trigger after. So making it in 2.0, get this cinematic device. We'll make a folder called jump scares. And then inside of jump scares, right click, cinematics, level sequence. We'll just call this first jump scare. Okay. So now it's going to open this up. Usually you will see the camera view. There we go. So for example, let's say there's a scary thing inside of here. Let's say the teddy's scary for whatever reason. I'm going to turn this up. So looking at the teddy, you hold right click to move around inside of the cinematic device. And we want to, let's see, we want it to be looking at him now. But this on its own is not much of a jump scare. So we would press on add, go over to audio track, confirm that, and you'd add a jump scare audio. For me, I'm just going to press this one. It's not a jump scare audio, but it's fine. And then, obviously jump scares are usually loud. You'd click on this arrow and change the volume to 4 or 5. Most of the time as well with a jump scare, you'd zoom out from the beginning. So you could either do this by moving it back and then moving it in. How I'm going to do it is just make a keyframe by pressing this button here. And then I'm actually going to make another keyframe on focal length. We're going to have it zoomed out to say 20 to begin with. And then 1 second in, or half a second in, put it on like 40 or 40. So let's look at that. It zooms in. Whilst you're doing this, it can get blurry, so you do need to play with manual focus distance. So example, it starts here, it's not blurry, but over here it's gotten blurry. So you need to play around with this scale until it looks clear and crispy. Another thing that jump scares usually have is some kind of light on them. So to add a light, you just type light device. You'd add the customizable light. You'd like say turn it down, for example. Make it red. And then I'll turn this actually from point to spot. And I'm actually going to also add inside of the jump scares folder. Do you have to try and remember where this was? Okay, I think it's a blueprint. Blueprint class. Camera shake base. and then we're just gonna call it jump scare shake. Jump scare camera shake. Okay. I've got this on the wrong screen, so I need to go ahead and move it over here. Root shape pattern. I am pretty sure it's purling noise. We'll go ahead and change this. All of these really, you can play around with them. I'm putting them all to select 2. Well, I'll keep the rest of them on 1. Duration 3. Blend in. Let's just keep it like that. You can also play around with these settings. But now we should have camera shake. Now, back in the sequencer. Go ahead and take a look. It seems like I actually made a transform when I shouldn't have. There we go. We will add a camera shake. So, click on Scene Camera Actor, add a camera shake, and we'll see the blueprint that we made. And now on the jump scare, you can see that the camera has a shake effect. You can change this to be stronger by increasing the numbers, or if you want it weaker, you can lower the numbers. To trigger this, you'd use like a trigger here. Say you walk in, or you want it to happen at a specific time, you use a trigger or a mutator zone. If you wanted the enemy to be moving, obviously this is a bear, you could do it with guard devices, or you could just, what I would typically do, I'll quickly show you. This is simple, or as simple as it kind of can be, I guess. Let's say this is the enemy. What we would want to do, attach a mutator zone. You see over here, mutator zone 2. We want to attach that to the cube, and then we'd play the jump scare cinematic when player is entering the zone. So if the player walks in this area, he'll get jump scared. Inside the cinematic device, we'll just do it inside of jump scares for the sake of this. We'd create a cinematic level sequence. We'll just call this moving enemy. We should add this to the sequencer, add the cube to the sequencer, and then when we move the cube, the mutator zone will move with it. This just means that they're going to get jump scared if this guy moves. You will need to mess around with the settings, make it look natural. You don't want to. If it's a walking character, you wouldn't want to make it go messed up. But that is a template on how to make a base horror. And hopefully this helps somebody.